Welcome to the apocalypse.
But the section he's going to next is the area where you get your first weapon in the game, which is pretty indicative of the overall feel of the game. You get your first weapon by pulling it out of a corpse's head. So that's sort of the feel we go for a lot. The corpse is basically set up as a scavenging node, which is part of our crafting system. You can interact with different types of nodes to get items out of them. Normally, you're getting like raw materials and stuff like that. So he got the axe, and when you want to use a weapon, you can basically go into aim mode, which you do by hitting the middle mouse wheel. You can do this you can go into aim mode in first or third person. So you can basically scroll out, play in sort of an over-the-shoulder Gears of War type of view, or you can play in a straight-up first-person point of view. Anytime you attack, basically you have to have your target in the reticle and be in range to hit the target. The hit determination is strictly FPS style, but the damage has RPG elements to it. You get a damage bonus for hitting people in the head, but the damage is more affected by the type of weapon you're using, your attack skill, their defense skill, their armor. So it's basically a hit determination via FPS, damage figured out via RPG mechanics. So we're really sort of going for a hybrid of both. So the first kill in the game, pretty easy. We don't want players to get killed by the first dude they meet in the tutorial. That'd be a little discouraging. And from this guy, he basically gets a rifle and a whole bunch of ammo, which at this point in the tutorial, we use the advantage to teach you about how to advance skills in the game. We have a classless system. So you have a set of stats, a set of skills, different mutations you can develop, trade skills, and you basically spend APs on these, or advancement points, which you earn by going through the game, earning experience points, and you get to spend these on whatever you want. Every 10th of a level you go up, you get 2 APs. You can use those to raise skills, which he's using them to raise his rifle right now. You can use them to raise stats. Your stats determine stuff like how many hit points you have, how resistant you are to poisons, or how much stamina you have for activating special abilities. Skills allow you to use different types of equipment. They give you bonuses in combat, like if your rifle is really high, you do more damage. If your armor use is really high, your armor is more effective. And they also will open up special abilities. For example, if you have first aid, you can learn all kinds of healing abilities. So that we basically try and give people a lot of different things they can do over the course of the game. We give people enough APs where they can max out several things. They're not going to be stuck as just being pistol guy or rifle guy or something like that. They can be rifle guy and have group tactics, or rifle guy and have first aid. So we don't want people to feel pigeonholed into, okay, I'm stuck as a DPS guy and that's all I do. You can be DPS and healer. We're trying to really get away from that idea of, there's only 3 types of characters, and allow people to really cover more bases. Because also, we steer away from some of the stuff that has become more of an MMO standard. For example, we're not really big into boss battles, because in an FPS-style combat system, shooting a guy for 20 minutes is really not fun. Especially if he's 12 stories tall. It's kind of hard to miss. So instead of going for battles where you fight one guy for a long time, we have battles where you fight lots of guys, at the same time. Like this room he's going into here. This is sort of like our shooting gallery. We've got a bunch of guys fighting down there, some of which are on your side, some of which are bad guys. So you basically get to pull out your rifle and just mow down some evil doctors who were going to cut you open. We've got scopes on the rifles, so you can zoom in and out and shoot people. So we try and give people a lot of different options in combat. Of course, different weapons have different ranges, different abilities, different rates of fire. Shotguns do more damage. They have less range. It's basically a lot of it's about balance of combat. All rifles in the game, rifles except for shotguns, have a pretty good range, but they have a penalty to your melee defense. So if somebody gets up on you while you're using one, they'll hurt you really bad. Melee weapons do the most damage, but obviously have the shortest range. Pistols are sort of a middle ground between the two, and you can dual wield pistols, so you can kick out a pretty good amount of damage with pistols. Of course, with rifles and pistols, you have to have ammo, and it's a post-apocalyptic environment. Ammo ain't cheap. You can make it yourself, and you can buy it from merchants, but it is a continual expense.